Yo, what is up? It's that time, it's that hour, it's Righteous with another video. All right, so I wanted to give my take on the Ryan Garcia versus his promoters and what's about to happen and what could transpire because this is going to be a good fight from what I can understand. It's a little bit of propaganda going on. Obviously, they're trying to sell the fight. But I don't know much about the opponent. I just keep hearing from other trainers and whatnot, like Robert Garcia, that supposedly he's really good, and it could be a good fight. So I am actually gonna tune into this fight. A lot of people don't watch fights like that sometimes because they might come off as one-sided, but aside from that, I think it could be a good fight, and I don't mind watching boxing. I love boxing, so I'm definitely gonna tune in. So they have my attention. But I wanted to give my take on Ryan Garcia versus his promoters. So it is funny what's going on. It's a couple things. So if you don't know exactly what was said, I don't have the quotes for you when it comes to Bernard, but I know exactly what triggered Ryan. So basically, uh, Bernard said that he will decide what will be best for Ryan after this fight and what he can take on and what he can't take on. You know what I'm saying? So it comes off a little messed up because the thing is, Bernard has a hand in what Ryan's future is, being that he works for the promoter that runs Ryan's career. Now, this could be his last fight for that promotion, GoldenBoy promotion. But it looks like Ryan doesn't like Bernard, and honestly, there's a lot going on with those two, with Oscar and Bernard, and also Ryan because of what happened with Gervonta Davis. So I'm gonna give you guys my take, but that quote right there, it came off a little messed up because it sounds like he might have a role on what happens with Ryan, and it definitely triggered Ryan. And then Ryan in the media came out and said, "Listen, Bernard doesn't decide on my future. He has nothing to do with what happens from here on out because he's been saying in the media that he might not stay with Golden Boy Promotions, and that's fair. That's on him. He can do what he wants. He's a fighter. He's a popular fighter, and he's a good fighter. Um, but he's basically telling them, "F you. I don't care about Bernard, and I don't care that he's saying this. He doesn't decide my future." Now, I heard what De La Hoya had to say in the press conference after or before, I'm not sure, but basically he was trying to say that Bernard was taken out of context, which we all are being taken out of context these days, right? Everybody's being taken out of context, especially if you're not in a good mood or if it sounds disrespectful. Yeah, it's gonna sound like it was taken out of context. But I actually agree with De La Hoya, and the reason why is because I've been around Bernard. I can't say I interviewed him, but I've been around him. I've heard him talk, and I've watched some of his interviews, and I see how he speaks and his patterns and whatnot. So I can see how it was taken out of context. And the reason why I think it was taken out of context is that I think he's saying it from a critiquing point on what he thinks Ryan can take on from here on out, because this guy that he's facing could be really good and could actually test and challenge Ryan. Now, if Ryan's coming off like, no one can mess with me, I got this. No, what are you talking about? Whatever. And he's really like on his Super Saiyan vibe, then he's like, it doesn't matter who I face, I'm knocking him out. You see what I'm saying? So that's one thing. And then another part of it that can be confusing and can be taken out of context is the fact that he's also like a boss, like let's say like an assistant manager or a higher up or someone that actually has a voice in De La Hoya's decision, who happens to be Ryan Garcia's boss, which can come off as intimidating. So I can see that. Also, Bernard is a legend in the game. Regardless if he comes off if he sounds disrespectful, if things are taken out of context. I've seen people in the comments going after his speech patterns and how he speaks and what he's talking about and whatnot. Um, some people are starting to say that he doesn't have all his faculties and he's not speaking correctly or whatever. Um, I don't think that's all the case, because at the end of the day, Bernard is still, he has a voice. He can say things and things will happen, or uh, he just has cachet when it comes to being a part of GoldenBoy promotions and whatnot. So I could see why Ryan is like, damn, this guy is talking too much. I don't like that. It's making Ryan uneasy, and the fight is about to get here, and he's getting overwhelmed, and he's sounding like he wants to sell the fight, and he also sounds like he wants to destroy this fighter that he's gonna fight. But still, I think he should still try and keep his cool. Now, I've gotten close to wanting to meet Ryan. I've DM'd him before. He's never responded. Obviously, these guys are busy, and I'm rooting for him. I want him to succeed, and I think that he has something to bring to the game of boxing. But I think there are times that he's not completely honest. And then there are times as well where he's still young, and he still has a lot to learn when it comes to life. He has a child. He's young. It happens. It happens. So I'm not here to critique Ryan to that degree. But at the same time, when it comes to someone like Bernard, this is how Bernard speaks. And to dial it back a little bit, I really feel like the split between GoldenBoy and Ryan Garcia all started after Gervonta Davis. Before that, from what I could see and from what I noticed from like post-fight interviews, from all their fights before all this stuff started, they were fine, But then after Gervonta Davis, it's like, where were you? What happened to you? It just feels like he's barking at his parents constantly. By the way, going back to the word parents, I really feel like his parents don't like De La Hoya. So it's possible. I don't have facts on that. I just, from what I can see, I see that his dad is a little reserved, but he's also protective, and it looks like he's supportive. He's always in the environment of Ryan. He's always around Ryan. And I feel like that can come off a little, I don't know how to explain this, but basically, like, when you have family involved in your scenario, when it comes to a sport like this, everybody's being impacted. So, there's a lot of pushback, a lot of like, where's this? What happened with it? That's what it comes off as to me. And it's very, like, intense. You got Latinos there, and then they both Mexican. One guy is well off. De La Hoya is paid, man. He got money. So even if he gives Ryan some suggestions and he walks away, it just looks like, dang, like this dude, he doesn't care. And I could see that. From what I understand, De La Hoya's worth north of 400 million. Yeah, he's gonna come off like he doesn't care. I could see that. And he's had Bernard in his corner for most of the time that he's had GoldenBoy. So it looks like he's coming off arrogant, and I honestly feel like at times he does. But it's also because he's been in the eye of the media for a while, so there's a lot to unpack there. But anyway, this is just my take. I wanted to also bring to you guys the point of Gervonta Davis. Now, I saw a tweet from Gervonta Davis saying that Bernard Hopkins been suspect and how he's kind of messed up the weigh-ins and whatnot when they were fighting and when they were on the build-up and stuff like that. Bernard did get involved. He did speak on this subject a few times, I think even with Joe Rogan, and I even heard him say something about he thought someone was going to fall or whatever, that he was a little too paranoid about what could happen. With the weigh-in, he was just protective, And honestly, Ryan is their only star. He's like their most biggest star. So like at times they can come off a little, paranoid and stuff. So like I could see where where the discomfort is coming from. It's just coming from all over the place. But when it comes to Gervonta, Gervonta is not Ryan's friend. I can see that from afar. If you can't see that, Ryan, then I don't know. But all promoters have their way. There's no like good promoter, so to say, or 100%. You got Bob Arum that picks them out early, pays them off early. He looks for Olympic talent. Then you got, who happens to be a manager slash promoter and all this or whatever. Al Heyman, he looks for elite black fighters. He's very pro-black, supportive when that comes to that community. And then also there's, who else? We got Don King. We got 360 Promotions, who used to work with GoldenBoy. If I'm not mistaken, they might still work with GoldenBoy, but they've signed guys in the past that are like from the Eastern Bloc and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different styles of promoters, and you got guys that cover like North America, South America, all that, and it's a dicey game. You know what I'm saying? It's a real dicey game. But when it comes to that, when it comes to like Gervonta Davis and whatnot, I don't think that he really has I don't think he cares about Ryan's career like that. I think he cares about Ryan, but I don't think he cares about his career like that. So he's still his competitor. You know what I'm saying? It took a very long time for Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard to sit down and actually talk like two friends. Back in the days, that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? I think Hagler almost never spoke to Sugar Ray Leonard for a while, a super long time. He hated him. Same thing with Riddick Bowe and Holyfield and stuff like that. These guys hated each other. Lennox Lewis, they hated each other. Mike Tyson, they hated each other. You know what I'm saying? These guys, they were rivals for a long time. Same thing in baseball, a lot of sports. In the early days, it was like that. But nowadays, people want to be friends and stuff like that. I don't think that should be something Ryan should be looking for. But Gervonta looks like he was just saying his opinion. I respect it, but I wouldn't trust it wholeheartedly. And just because he's being your friend doesn't mean he's going to give you the fight again. You see what I'm saying? Also, and this is all relative to Ryan. It's going to go back to Ryan. I see Teofimo calling out Terrence Crawford. I've been saying this for a while, and I don't know if you guys have been noticing, but when it comes to my YouTube, some of my stuff, people don't remember. I have to remind people. So I feel like these guys should be considering 147 more than 40. Teofimo's calling out Terrence Crawford. I love it because he has the talent. He has the skill. Do it. Go after him. It doesn't mean that you're going to get the fight. I'm just saying you fit more in that function over there. You got all the belts. He's a unicorn. Teofimo's a unicorn. Go do it. You're different. You're not like these guys. I think Ryan should be considering to go to 47. Stop calling out Tank, bro. I understand he's popular. Stop calling him. Go fight somebody that's in 47 because these guys are tall too. Like, all right, Teofimo's probably not that tall, but he got the skill and he can do it. So go after it. You know what I'm saying? But Ryan's 5'10". He's probably gonna be 6 feet by the time in another year or two. He already is 6 feet, but regardless, he's tall, he's lanky, he can make 47. I know he can, but he's got to work on his skill, and he's got to chill with the temperament, man. Really has to, because I don't think going into a fight with these guys that are shorter than you, and they're bullies when it comes to the body and stuff like that. Just be careful, man. Be careful what you wish for. So, anyway, let me go and check out. Let me shout out the opponent that Oscar Duarte. Shout out to that guy. I've heard good things. He looks like he only speaks Spanish. I saw his interview and he looks very serious. So I'm definitely gonna be tuning into that fight. Let me know if you're gonna watch the fight, if you guys are gonna be scoring it, or if you're gonna be checking out the whole boxing card and stuff like that. Hit me up, subscribe, like, comment. You already know. It's whoever X Righteous. Peace out, and let's try to keep boxing alive. Later.